Hi, hello, and welcome to the Oracle Consularship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene, Priestess of Blosi. I'll be your Oracle today. I'm a little frustrated. I don't seem to be able to get past this astral parking lot. So I just want to put that out there because some of you might be noticing. I want to get back to the love readings and the moon readings and all this other stuff. I feel like things are piling up in the background, but there just seems to be a series of attacks. Okay. I've noticed that something is trying to exploit the parts of ourselves that are unknown, which also suggests to me that there is some energy, entity, ideology that knows more about us than we do, or that is addicted or attached or enmeshed in some unrealized aspect of ourselves. It's going to be either or. We've gotten a couple few things over the last day and a half or so. Mainly, there's an attack. Now, let me quickly define what attack is. Yeah, attack can mean conflict between two energies or two entities or whatever, but sometimes it means something triggers that completely reverses. Think of like an L becoming a seven, or think of something the pendulum swinging, usually without cause, without notice, or without provocation. Now, there's more, and of course, it can be two parties, two energies, two entities battling, okay? But an attack could simply be a reversal, whether it was prompted or naturally triggered, okay? Then we discovered that there was this kind of sacred sovereign connection because at the end of the video of the attack, we discovered like, oh, we are still processing feelings, experiences, some of the karmic lessons from this old false union that we were attached to. It was probably like a false twin or a distorted soulmate, some type of karmic relationship. Then we went into the real connection. And in both of those, we discovered, oh, there's still access to our energy. There's still access to our aura. There's still access to our God sovereign free self because of this other energy that we're connected to. Then we discovered that, okay, we need to be on the path. We need to be steady on the grind. We need to be focused to our duty. Okay. Then this hasn't been talked about yet. I've been hearing since that last video. Well, part of the reason why we're being attacked so much is because there's something worthwhile. It's not just, because if God loves you, so does the devil. The devil's not going to come for you if you ain't know nothing. That's just what it is. The other aspect about that is that this other energy is attacking because they're getting nervous or anxious. So that means that they're fearful. I don't know why they just can't leave us alone. Now, some of it is ego. It's just this unfiltered, unadulterated entitlement, a lack of self awareness, a lack of self reflection. That's the toxic energy there. Sometimes it's like a crestfallen. Think of it as like devastation. They have nothing else. So, what I say to that, and I just kind of wipe the floor with this statement, you're never going to find a hater doing better than you. And when there is a hater doing better than you, that means you've come to disrupt the system or you've come to dismantle their perfectly curated narrative. Because I don't want to pretend like there isn't sometimes where like we'll have a little slice of bread and we'll be going up against somebody with a whole loaf and they'll want to wage war upon us because we have a little slice of bread. That's some sickness and illness. I don't know what that is. But that means that we are the thing that dismantles them. So what I just got is that there's this projection trying to trigger whatever our innocence is. Or up until recently, we've been the product of some type of energy that was veiled. Okay, yes, Seven of Cups, there could have been gaslighting or mirage or glamour or mirror magic. We could have been like unhealed, unawakened, inelegant, unrefined. There could have been some type of illusion, delusion, confusion. Something was obscured, like I said, mirrored, veiled, mirage, facade. Okay. But things are coming to light, things are coming out to the forefront, and we keep getting pages, page of cups, page of swords. Um, and I'll read the overall energy, the core energy for this spread in a minute. But but then the sun just came out, which again is another indicator of innocence. So, hi, hello, welcome. If you're new, I want to welcome you home because you belong. And if you are returning, welcome back. It's a delight and a privilege and an honor to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to do so. From This Might Hurt Tarot, we will be imposing the guidance of Isabella Rotman over at Liminal 11 Publishing. We're going to lay 4 cards. This will be the core overall energy as we're gathered here today. There will be more cards that come, but those are to clarify or modify these 4 cards here. Okay. And then we'll get in here, fit in here, and see what we get going on. So the 4 cards that we have is the Queen of Swords, High Priestess, 2 of Pentacles, Hierophant, Queen of Swords, High Priestess, 2 of Pentacles, Hierophant, Queen of Swords, High Priestess, 2 of Pentacles, Hierophant. The Queen of Swords is discernment. It can be somebody who's bitter, cold. So there's 2 sides to every card that we're dealing with. There's a duality here. So in the positive aspect, this is a person who needs truth, clarity, boundaries, standards in order for you to come close. In order to let you in, they need truth and clarity. This also could be somebody that needs boundaries and standards because they've been previously wounded. They can also be somebody who's committed to being oppositional. There might be an estrangement here. They can't have or be the wielder of supreme authority, something where they were appointed, not elected. Queen versus king. Okay. In the more inverted energy, also known as reverse, this could be bitter, somebody that's cruel, bigoted, in the sense of superiority. High Priestess here is gracious, exalted influence over an entire cycle. This is the keeper of the mystery. You can also talk about the moon cycle with the queen moon in an air sign, and then the high priestess, which represents the moon. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. So it could be turning the tables or things turning around, but it's also attending to a situation. It might also just be intercession. These 2 cards together is definitely an indicator of intercession. Doesn't always mean prayer. Oftentimes it does with the Hierophant, but the 3 of Cups and the Page of Cups is a prayer card. This is more 2 of Pentacles Hierophant. It's intercession. Because the Hierophant can be somebody of a rank inside of an organization, but this is also a spiritual rank. Somebody that has a role in the kingdom of the divine. It can also just be a bureaucrat of some kind. Okay, excuse me just a second. It could also be somebody that holds a sacred office. This is saying that over the next 2 months or so, we're going to have this gracious, exalted influence, which requires truth and clarity. People are not going to be able to come to us in the darkness and illusion. There's also this energy here of trying to swap or switch places with us because we have access in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. Something here has been either denied or it's sitting there at the threshold or rejected. Because we're detached and I'm getting this energy that it's creating a problem, maybe for us, maybe for anything that we're connected to. I don't see another person yet. We just got the Ace of Cups, 4 of Cups, King of Cups, 6 of Wands. That's outside of the core energy that we already talked about. But something's coming to the threshold. We've summoned something, conjured something here. High Priestess and the 4 of Cups can talk about the moon in Capricorn. I mean, okay. I meant to say the moon in Cancer, but I just heard Capricorn. King of Cups, 4 of Cups, that's wanting to detach. High priestess and the Hierophant, that's a monk or nun. Together means somebody who's of a spiritual practice. This is something religious, spiritual, or having to do with duties, obligations. Hangman, Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Okay, so this is an emergent reading. We have an alert here. Whenever this 2-7 says an alert, we're starting out from this place of discernment because we gained perspective in some way when formerly we had some type of perception. Our heart might be opening, our heart's desires are kind of being manifested. We're starting there and we're moving towards, okay, we're actually in that energy of manifestation, but there's a lot of things to go through, grow through it. There's an alert here that there may be some type of illusion or facade with the Seven of Cups. There may be some kind of attack with the Seven of Wands. The Hangman gives us a timing indicator here. So over the last week, we started to complete some type of cycle that's been going on for a little while in terms of manifestation. Two of Swords, Five of Wands means that we're needing to discern something that's a little bit combative or chaotic, or energy tried to come towards us, Chariot, and it was repelled, or we tried to move towards something or into some environment surrounding location and we were repelled. The Death card coming out after the Two of Swords means that over the next month or so, we're going to begin to be moving forward in some kind of way, and Judgment is being called, but it's something about sacrifice. The Chariot and the Death card together means a successful ending, number one, but number two, it brings in some of the Shiva archetypes. There's a priest there's a Shivanic priest, there's a Shiva priest in the cemetery, the burial grounds. It also can be Rudra. It also could be the male ancestors, especially if there's like brothers or uncles, like the sibling of us or the sibling of the father. Makes sense. It could even be like great uncle, grand uncle. You hear what I'm saying? This is mostly older sibling of our older sibling if they're deceased, or our father's older sibling, a generation before that even. Because we're going towards Grace's exalted influence over the entire cycle that was also rife with conflict, contestation, conundrums, crossing, competition, karma, some cascading cacophony of compounded karma. There's crazy, there's Loloka, there's Delulu, there's all of that. We have the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Cups and the Five of Wands. That just means that hoes be acting up. Somebody here is getting ratchet and hatchet and acting stupid, acting a fool, going all out just to look stupid. I'm serious. Pardon me. That's what it is. Okay, let me just sip on this tea right quick. It's actually coffee. Okay, somebody's just doing the most, doing the most. So let's get in here. I don't really want to, but let's do it. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. From Los Carabeo, we will be using the Vita Sibilla Daily Oracle to deliberate any findings for correlative or corresponding energy. I want to know what this Shiva priest is. It's one of the Rudras. It starts with an A. Agora, I think Aghora. That this gives me funeral pyre, burial ground. We're saying goodbye to our former self. We need to let things go and leave people behind. Five of Wands is crabs in a barrel. Think of also like the Five of Cups being, I mean, excuse me, pardon. Five of Wands is bottom of the barrel. Think of it in opposition to the Five of Cups, which is crabs in a bucket. So we have bottom of the barrel, something podunk is the word that I'm hearing. I don't even know what that means. I know it refers to lowly, but I was gonna say ratchet, hatchet, basic and boring, common, ordinary, plain, messy, or petty. So here is dogs. It's a dog fight. It's dog eat dog world. And we're having to overcome it. So we're triumphant. We have the Six of Wands and the Seven of Wands. So we have the favorable position. And this is about our spiritual path. I think it's because we're loyal to the divine. Something's working for us because everything's already kind of set up. We're already ready. Six of Wands here. We've already kind of made it. And then here we have mercante, which means like having all our ducks in a row. We're ready. We ready. I'm hearing that. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Throw your body up and down, hang up and you touch the ground. I can't help but wonder why. I had to let that out. I couldn't keep it in. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so we really are going towards overcoming some type of cycle. And we know it's nasty McNasty. It's just dirty McDirty. It's just kind of messy McMessy. I don't understand all the and everything about that because it could be multiple people, it could be multiple petty. Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups, that just gives you ratchet hatchet. Let me just enumerate here because I might sound judgmental. Seven of Cups, in and of itself, my dear, my darling, let me tell you. Okay, so bottom of the barrel, I said that. If it's in terms of the Seven of Cups, it means living in sin, ratas cucarachas, swamp people, swamp maidens, swamp hoes, messy, the kinds that are, they're sloppy, they're slurring their speech, they're on drugs, they're under some type of illusion, delusion, confusion, they're lacking self-awareness, self-accountability, self-reflection. They're under some type of, glamour, mirror magic, or, gaslighting, mirage. Something's false about them. They're projecting onto external sources because they can't, like I said, self-awareness and self-reflection. They can't look inside, so they look outside. Does that make sense? They have an external locus of control, usually because of their living in sin in some way, meaning external decadence, internal decay. There's an illusion that they may be perpetuating, or they're under. Because we're new, so we're just getting to the table here in the sense of about ready to play the game. But this other energy thinks like, oh, I lost my chance, or whatever. They're being left to their own devices, but these devices that they have are being depleted. The situation as it evolves is leaving all this behind, and we have victory cards here. Hierophant, first of all, that's the rank. It's the top of the heap. Now, then we have Chariot, victorious, Seven of Wands on high ground, Six of Wands, literally the high horse. So we have some exalted status here, and it's spiritual. It was initiated, La Superbia, the peacock, the ego. It's not what they sound like, but I love to say that word, peacock, peacock. Well, I think I'm feeling giddy. Um, Yeah, so we are making moves in some kind of way, shape, form, or another, and more information or energy is coming. So this delirante, whatever got missed is not a problem. But now I'm hearing the Mike Brown effect. So they didn't think we were nothing when they had access to us, but then we move on, move forward, and we have a glow up, a boss up, a level up, a G up, a handle up, and now they want to running and wanting and chasing behind us when they didn't give us no time of day when they were near us. I think we rise above the petty. We rise above the fray. When we kind of the ugly duckling becomes a swan, la giretta, when we emerge from the cocoon or whatever, what have you. The thing about it is we was always what we was, but only the select few could see it. And we are gonna have something trying to come back or whatever, or what have you, or la di da, or yada yada, because the light of day is here. Now there's a death for sure. Something dies. We don't have the Five of Swords or the Ten of Swords. It's not a physical death, but we do have the Sun in the Death card. That is a death. unless the Six of Cups comes out, which makes it Sun in Scorpio, somebody who's a Scorpio sign, that's a death. We have the Sun card, Five of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Somebody here definitely is entitled, Queen of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Justice card. There was an injustice. We were left out in the cold. And we did the best with that. We didn't get our comeuppance. We didn't get due. We were going through a karmic lesson. We were a little bit of a loser or on a losing streak or had to take a loss, had to take an L. But we handled up on that. We literally did overcome and become victorious. We're now a winner. Six of Wands. We're no longer the Five of Wands. And that's what it took for us to get this high priestess. They needed to make forced change upon us in order for us to align to our path. And it was so that our position could be defended. Queen of Wands. On this other side, there was an injustice. They needed to be recognized in some kind of way. And they felt that they weren't. It doesn't matter if they were or not. They were under the impression that they were. There was this expectation that we would see their worth or that we would play their game, but we have a double nine here. Which means it doesn't matter if we see it or understand or agree with it right now. In the end, we'll understand that there was a need to take space. That's what it means when we have a double nine, a pair of nines. I want to check on this Sun and the Justice card because that means children's rights are being recognized, being seen. It could also mean that somebody was innocent because something turned around suddenly. It could be the shock of the awe, the shock of the obvious. Yeah, because something here felt like a rupture. Hopes, wishes, and dreams ruptured, and then they're stuck. Meanwhile, we were just difficult to discern. That's all it was. We were just unreadable because we're sanctified here, consecrated, hierophant. So what they perceive as rigidity is just boundary. What they perceive as pause, what they perceive as rejection is just pause. What they perceive as detachment is really just alignment. So there's a misattribution here. Seven of Cups is also a card of misattribution. With the Hangman, there was a need to come to the right perspective, and it would have been in the beginning that we weren't. But in the end, it turns out like, oh, okay, I can see clearly now. I was under a haze, I was under a daze, I was confused. Okay, yeah, but did you speak up for yourself? Did you declare your intention? Did you state what you wanted, or did you just go away and have an attitude problem? We do have a pairing here. The pairings are Magician and the High Priestess, or Emperor and the Empress, or High Priestess and the Hierophant is a real pairing, or the Strength card and the Hermit. Those are all pairings. I'm hearing that my body's too bootylicious. So somebody has their moon in Libra as evidenced by the Justice and the Two of Swords here. Yeah, there's a lot of discernment and deliberation. Somebody's trying to be fair, but fair after the fact. Like if you make a mistake, run and say, hey, I misjudged, or I mistook, or I misunderstood. I want to make this right. This is where I'm at. This is the reality that I'm under. Just so you know before things get too far, things go too long. Okay, what is this hangman with the Hierophant, because that can bring an institution. Because our victory is being delayed in some way, shape, form, or another. Okay, so there is the need to impose boundary standards. I think a love got dashed, and we were the ones blossoming and maturing. Like Gillette, this is a butterfly, by the way. These cards are a little bit faded. This deck is a couple years old, but I've been using this deck for hundreds of years. Okay. So we have a message from the other side of a petition, really. And then on our side, we have another message. Um, this is something quite precious, and now we're thinking and looking in the future. So we're aware of our value, and we would have spoken up if something was clear in the petition. But I think somebody might have been, yeah, malinconia, reunione here. So reunione here. It's somebody wanted to feel close and have access. And the thing is that we're boundary. The lesson here is to not worry when something doesn't work out or when there's a misunderstanding, because people hear what they want to hear, they think what they want to think, and they arrive at whatever conclusion supports their narrative. If they really wanted to know, they would attempt to assess the situation, and they would have a curiosity, investigation, examination. They wouldn't jump to conclusions. And the situation's kind of, we're in this place of being unbothered, and it doesn't actually mean that we are unbothered. It just means that's how we're coming off, and that actually is the thing to do. So there's attributes being applied to us that don't really apply. There's also this exceptionalism here. We're being expected to be excellent, which means they're holding us accountable for something they haven't taken the time to make us accountable for. So even here we have the King and Queen of Hearts with the Seven of Spades, meaning disaster. We also have the Queen of Wands with this Justice card, which talks about a Capricorn rising. And there's also Capricorn Jupiter here. So something here is ready. But the thing here is that this person goes about things in a very certain way. And there's something on their mind that they're not sharing. And when it finally does come out, what we'll discover is like, okay, well, we've been playing games, we've been wasting time. This could be us, but we was acting stupid. So a pair of fives, a pair of queens, a pair of sevens. A pair of nines, a pair of twos, so King of Cups in the Death card means a Scorpio sun or Aquarius rising. There's something valuable here that's hidden. Somebody's trying to accomplish this valuable thing because there's affections that haven't been spoken. And the thing is, we're ready. We could simply give it to them, but there's not an open ask. It's not one of those unclaimed things somebody's trying to force some type of situation. We also have the King of Cups with the Cancer card, the Chariot, which means if there's not a Scorpio sun, then there is a Cancer sun here, or a Libra rising. We also have the Libra card here. If there's a Libra rising, moon would be in the first house. There's a person now. They attract their fear, so they have to confront them. The thing that's on their mind, they're going to need to say out loud, because the thing that's on their mind is going to attract things into their path. Okay, unfortunately, I was going off the Justice and the Two of Swords. There definitely is somebody here with love on the brain. Let's look at this Cancer sun or Libra rising. Oh, the Libra, okay. The Libra rising is the same as the Cancer sun. It's either or. The Cancer sun, another word for that would be Cancer midheaven. And then if somebody's top of the chart is Cancer, the beginning of the chart, which is also known as the rising or the ascendant, would be Libra. We already talked about that. It's just saying that something came through, it'll show up again, kind of like it'll come out in anger, agitation, or ego. There's something here performative. Somebody's not saying something, but they're showing something, and that might not be the way we get down. We've already actually achieved something, but we might not know, we might not grab it, we might not exercise this liberty because, again, it may be obvious, but not to us. It's actually a racket. It's one of those, if you know, you know. Okay, that's fine when you're trying to keep something discreet, private, or secret, but if you want something from somebody else, you might just need to tell them. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you value it being recognized without having to be explained. Okay, well, just know that and move forward. Because we're being dutiful, we're not necessarily being giving. And it does create a karmic lesson for us, and we do go through a hardship and we are left out in the cold or abandoned. Something turns around suddenly. So I think something suddenly feels harsh for no reason. Because it's like a gathering around starts banding together for the wrong reasons. Delavanti, they're all under some kind of haze and stupor. Because somebody got their feelings hurt. And it's a well-known fact. But there's been missing because it's calling us Fidelta. We are the sweetheart, but they wouldn't know that because they're believing whatever their feelings or insecurities tell them. We have the Six of Wands. That's not a heartless person. We have the Seven of Wands. That's just a person with boundaries. We have the Chariot. If you tell that person what you need, they'll overcome and they'll rise to the occasion. Because Page of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, we're feeling left out. And it's because somebody feels entitled to something. But they're going through an ego death. They're resting on these laurels, Nine of Pentacles, King of Cups, but the death card is here. So unless they're a Scorpio sun or an Aquarius rising, that's actually going to be withdrawn from them. And they want some affection, adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement, but they might not get that from us because of where we've gone in the situation. So let's look through these multiples, and we're going to pull out this card. I mean, these cards because of the High Priestess and the Hierophant. We'll be clarifying the multiples of, like, we have a pair of this, a triple this, yada, 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 yada. It's the Cosmic Coven Tarot, the Minor Arcana from Lillian Lazenby over at Ripe Avocado. We're going to look at this pair of queens. So overall energy is the Knight of Cups. The shared energy is the Queen of Swords. So somebody tried to open up their heart, or they were timid when they took action, and it left them needing to protect themselves because there's a burden, like a flame being carried, a torch is being carried in the higher realm. Where they are right now is attending to a situation that they don't even know how to tap into, but they can, and they should. We're in this place of opening and budding and blossoming, and they may just be still out of energy because they're not coming at us authentically. They're coming at us with some type of ego or flair or something performative when we just need to be about what you're about. What's this pair of five? The changes, but we're manifesting these changes with the King of Pentacles. So the shared energy is Eight of Cups. That could be needing to mature, needing to go on a pilgrimage, learning about the spirit or the feelings, or a withdrawal, basically. What's going on in the higher realm is destiny is being served. That there's some type of spiritual arrangement, Six of Cups, but we're in this Nine of Cups energy, so we've already completed this lesson. It just needs to dissipate. It's something that's going to leave a wound unless somebody here really fully processes the situation. Tell me about these nines, please. Some type of agreement. King of Pentacles came right back. Now with the Seven of Swords. I feel like somebody's going to manifest their fear because they're leaving behind fairness, but they don't realize that it was some type of ego. They actually had what they wanted, but since they manipulated or triggered, it was revoked by us, Five of Swords. I think we revoked our kindness or revoked our give a darn about something. That's really what I'm getting. Because we tried to do the thing and it was just a bunch of mess. Seven of Cups, Five of Wands. It was a hot mess. So we just withdrew our energy. Why don't we look at this pair of sevens here? What about these sevens? Yeah, there was some type of agreement, spiritual agreement, covenant before we were born. And we were in safe space. We let them in some kind of way, but it didn't go very well and it got progressively worse because they were starting to act sneaky or they weren't being truthful with what their intentions were. And they got canceled. They got canceled out. And now we're peaceful again. Okay, some energy was doing the most and they got canceled out. Well, with the Seven of Swords, duh. That's trifling, treacherous, treason, sideways, seditious, and sneaky. You will get canceled every single time. Okay, be right back. It's saying that we had to Four of Pentacles, secure our position in some kind of way, shape, form, or another because things were just spicy and dicey. Seven of Swords. It could be manipulative. It could be a hidden enemy. It could be some type of pre-betrayal energy. They're moving sideways or sneaky in some kind of way when they should be giving, committing, saying, this is where I'm at, this is what I want, this is what I'm willing to give. So they got canceled out. Something collapsed, probably their ego. Yes, because again, we were looking for open roads, not closed doors. We were trying to move forward, not run into roadblocks. And maybe it's just an obstacle. And we might have probably been clear, or at least weighed up our options and saw that it's something I want to deal with. And the answer became no. Yeah, we weren't going to let that into our energy. Eight of Pentacles. We were looking for things that were fun, open. Yeah, and it's a disappointment. We wanted to move forward into calmer waters. And we saw how they moved, and that was fine. We just decided to move out of their way. And so this little bond or union didn't really go anywhere. It could have, it definitely could have. Two of Cups. Where are you going? Okay, so what is this High Priestess in the Hierophant? Tell me. Magical Muse. So we were just sparkly. A great source of inspiration, artistic inspiration and beyond. Be a lover, friendly infatuation, maybe even a stranger, one that one barely or ever speaks to. We were something sparkly, and it would have caused them to be authentic and earnest in their approach, and they weren't. So the shared information is there was so much for me to tell you, but I'm unable to express myself in a rational way, so I'd rather keep quiet. In the higher realm, there's forgiveness. So we're working through this, letting go of the burden, handling up on our growth, acknowledging the situation, the feelings, or whatever, what have you. But this other energy, this other party, I feel my life is falling apart and being pulled apart. No matter what I try to build, things keep crumbling all around me. I wish you were here to help. You were the only thing solid in my life. Where we are is creative, intuitive, romantic, mystical, gentle, empathetic, kind, and generous. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. We're going to say a quick prayer to all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, trapped in the matrix, lost in the seas of time, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the infinite grace of the divine, unconditional love, and universal oneness. Upon we love you, we're sorry, please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, we're path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, Nirvana, Ashe. May we be happy, may we be well, may we be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. This was a reading about a connection. It could have been on the same page, friendly. It could have been also a little bit romantic. That never really went anywhere because there was projection and there was boundaries, and they couldn't rise to the level to kind of come through. They couldn't get admittance into the gate. So take good care. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.